Keep all this to heavy is the head. I see the boat throwing. I'm too forward with it. I gotta keep going. Kobe with the wins. You niggas just Ginobili. You win and only cousin me. Let's keep the ball rolling. No disrespect, Slim. Where is your check, Slim?
Welcome back to another episode of the You Weren't There podcast. I am, of course, your host, Mia Was Here, and we got a great show for you today. I'm going to let my co-hosts introduce themselves, and we're going to get right to it, Chaz.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all fellas, man, coming through. This is You Weren't There podcast, man. It's been an interesting day, to say the least, but we here, we made it, and I am Chaz DL, and I'm ready to get into it. Let's do it.
Gigi?
My name is Nobody That Important _ on Instagram. My name is Gigi, and we got some lovely guests up here today. I'm eager to speak with them to see what they're all about.
For sure. So we're going to let our guests introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right to it. Neff?
What's up? It's Neff Said, NEFFNUFFSED on IG. I'm from Douglas, Virginia.
All right.
Yes, sir.
My name is Robert Morris. My ad is MOMORRIS 70. Business page is Rem Fragrances, ARREM FRANGES, both on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Mark Marketing. Give you what you need when you know you need it. At Big Dog Mark on all socials, BIGDAWGMARQ.
There you go.
Big
That's
Dog
Big Boy pants on. There we go. That's what the fuck I'm about. Niggas in this time being quiet. Go ahead and say this, y'all. Niggas be too cool all the time. To smile, to have fun, to have conversation. Come on, man. We not doing that when you weren't there, man. We keeping shit a buck every week. You know what I'm saying? All that too cool shit. Cause first of all, the coolest nigga in this room is obviously me. I think that's obvious. So we ain't never on that. We want to get into the journeys of our guests. We value Black businesses in this area. We value Black men in this area. Both are equally important. But we're gonna start with Neff. Neff, rapper, huge concert promoter. I need some tickets, you know what I'm saying? I seen what you got coming up in May, you know what I'm saying? You need to help us out, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't come up here and don't bring niggas ain't bring no gifts, no bottles, no water or nothing. That's crazy. But we do want to know, how did you start off as a rapper? What was the transition into like the event space?
I actually have I got something I added last year. I became an author. Last year.
Yes.
That was a scary one. That was a scary job. But I always did music. I always wrote. Not always at the best times, you know. I was getting in trouble in school. I'd be in school writing. They'd be like, you know, you ain't paying attention. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm writing a book. They're like, no, you got it. But
Haters.
yeah, that was always
Support Black authors.
it always happens like that. But so I was selling CDs in my locker in high school. I always had a passion for music.
Wait. Yeah. CDs.
Yeah, I was selling CDs.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I heard you right. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Old school.
But I would press on my own CDs, sell them out of my locker. It wasn't the best work at the time. You know, I was just growing. And it quickly got a part of my identity to where people would see me and they were like, what's up? You got some new music, you do this. So it became part of who I was. I tried to step away from it maybe like 3-4 times. I always get drawn back. I had my son. I had to refocus a couple times, but then he actually put a fuel behind me to keep doing it because he got love for music. So now, like the run I'm on right now has a lot to do with my sons because they're watching. They have entrepreneur spirits. They're very creative, and so I gotta be something that they see and they know. You know, don't quit. Don't let the adversity or anything, ups and downs, change your path. You know, put God first, put God in the center. Everything you do is going to work out, even if it ain't your plan. It's your plan. So that's how I operate.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Sure.
Mark and Rob, where did it begin?
Oh.
Now, see, we told these niggas before the show to figure out who was going to see. This is what I've been talking about, y'all. Let me tell you something. All right, y'all know I don't do that. Niggas is on my nerve today. We said.
We already ready. Let me go ahead and get into the spiel. Let me tell you.
Let's get to it.
The reason about it is because the story is crazy. So me and him, we known each other since 6th grade. So where did the story start? It doesn't start around. It starts back when we was in middle school. So when you said where did it start? Do we start when we started doing this, or do we start way back in?
Give him the trailer. Give him the trailer version.
Yeah.
Okay, so me and Mark went to school together since middle school. We both went to Kibbe School. If you guys are familiar with the Kibbe C system, went with the Kip Aim Academy. He was a year ahead of me, so I was in 6th grade. He was in 7th grade when he transferred in. Weren't really friends back then, but when we went to high school, started playing football together. He was my quarterback. I was a left tackle. I told him the other day, the first conversation we had was when we came out for practice. I went out there the first day. For the first 2 days, everybody was yelling at me. I don't like yelling. My father's a retired Marine, retired lieutenant colonel, so I've been hearing yelling all my life. Don't need to hear it from people the same age as me. So I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. Like, I left. He Facebook messaged me that night. It was like, hey, bro, you come to practice tomorrow? I'm like, why? I was like, bro, everybody yelling at me. I don't need to come here tomorrow. He's like, bro, fuck them. You need a block from me.
Right.
I need you on the team.
Rob tried to quit. I was like, you don't bring your big ass back here. Need protection.
The next day, I was like, you know what,
Protection, bro.
So came up to school, man, and then that's when we got real close. Like, I live Wheeler Road, you live Wheeler Road. Yeah, right here from each other. Crazy enough. And so that spawned 4 years of ice together, kept in touch with our college, whole spiel. With the Rem fragrances, I had really sensitive skin. And so about 4 years ago in 2022, just wanted something that I can do a passion project for myself, somewhere I could use my hands a lot more because I build Legos, I woodwork, paint, I do whatever I need to around the house to keep my hands moving, got ADHD. So I was like, what can I do that one would just be nice and good for my skin? And I got real big into cologne. So as you see, I'm a big dude. One thing that always fit was how good you smell. So that was one size fits all. So that's when I started making perfumes. I said, all right, cool, let's go. So started doing that. 2022, I think I did it for about one or 2 years. Then, lost my job when I was working in finance, started selling stuff on Eastern Market. Was out Eastern Market with some other people. Then it started to blow up. I was like, okay, I don't really, it's getting better, but it's good now. So now I can start selling stuff. Still talking to my boys here and there. It's like, okay, stop selling on my Eastern Market. Became a teacher. I teach geometry up at the high school level at Kip Legacy. I became a teacher, and then always been talking to Mark since we were little kids. He comes on like, hey man, like this stuff is really good. I want this to grow. So we need this to get bigger, need this to get better, just need to grow your brand. Let's do that. How are we gonna? He comes in marketing. Now you can go ahead.
Like when you was talking about like y'all too cool and shit, it's really him tapping me like, don't do too fucking much. That was the conversation before we got here. He was like, yo, don't do too much.
Don't listen to him.
He was like, don't do too much. You know what I'm saying?
Do you?
Nah, but so that's kind of how it came about, right? So like we call Rob the chemist. Like Rob get down, he make the sense, like he can tell you everything about the science from how it started from the root. But like knowing his personality, like he's not a big forward personality. Like he's like really just focused into his craft. And I was like, yo, you got a dope product, but nobody ever know that if you can't put it in front of people. So I'm like, I got a big mouth. Let me do it. Let me talk to everybody. Let me go to the event. Let me get in front of these people. Let me DM them. Let me talk to them. Like I'm gonna make it work because I feel like what you do is something that's really dope that everybody needs to see and everybody needs to experience, right? Like colognes and fragrances, we spending hundreds of thousands of dollars giving it to somebody else. Why would we give it to our own people in our own communities, right? For something to be 100% natural, we don't have no additives or nothing else in our products, right? We just, being born and raised over here in this side of the city, like the only other brands that we are like really invested in right now is like Museum is really big in our community. And it's like, man, it's not no people that look like us that's in like this luxury fragrance space. So it's like, yo, like why not? Why not two guys that grew up on the south side, along with our guy Will that joined us, spearheading the community work and being like, yo, we got a product that y'all need to hear about. So that's what brought us here.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Period.
That's
Partnership.
for sure. I think like you weren't there. We're big on community, but like more than that, like we love Black people. And I think it's important to be able to spotlight the amazing things that are taking place in our community, because that's what we're here to do, right? To provide a voice. And I think Black businesses in particular, you get a lot of flack, especially from your own, right? People are so much more likely and inclined to support somebody who does not look like them. And a lot of times people say things like, oh, the customer service don't be good with us, or like, oh, niggas charging too much, like nigga, you not Baccarat, like what you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I feel like wasting time too about some of these clothing lines. I be like, nigga, you is not Ralph Lauren. Why is this sweater $300? But I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? But I think the key with Black business that's very important is what it took to get there. It's a lot of work, and it's always harder for us, right? Some buddies of mine who own what should I call my store? Shout out to Patty's Dope for that. A lot of like the product that they get in the store, they're paying more, right, than like a PacSun, right, just to get it wholesale, right? That's the nature of what you deal with in Black business, is that even though you're providing an equally great product, perhaps superior, you get charged more just to get involved, right? And I see that a lot too, because I'm an accountant. That's what I do in my real life, right? So I work numbers, books, and resourcing. And that's something that I notice specific to Black businesses, is that your markup on things is often higher than your white counterparts. What sort of adversity have you encountered in the business in terms of like pricing yourselves out?
Shoot, I was about to say, when you made that mention about the baccarat prices and stuff off the jump, people immediately come to us and be like, I'll say like, not our cheapest fragrance, right? But like a standard 30 milliliter bottle of Urban Rim fragrance gonna run you about $45. And we just look at it like, you can go to Target, you can go to Macy's, you can go anywhere. Like that's a standard price for like a quality fragrance, right? So when you come to us and we like, well, we think our shit is just as good, if not better. And like, you know, we set the bar of not the business that we are today, because everybody is always like, yo, can we get a hookup? Like, oh, it's me, bro. Like, you know me, like, give me $10 off. I'm like, you don't go in there and ask them for $10 off, yo. Like, you love me, you mess with me, right? You bump with me. Like, why not pay me what you gonna pay them folks anyway? You know what I mean? And just looking at it of like, why we can't start off. And I think a lot of those companies that you talk about are upstart businesses, when they're overcharging or marking their prices up, they're looking at it like, why I can't charge you what I know I'm gonna be worth later. Why I can't set that as my bar now and just work towards that. You know what I mean? So a lot of times it's like, just let me go. And if you believe in it, and if you like the product like you say you do, or I know that you will, then like I think it's worth your money. So for sure.
Does that make you nervous at all though? Like pricing yourself out the market?
I don't think it makes us nervous, right?
So the way that my prices work, it's in just business, 50% markup. That's anything if you said product or service, 50% markup. Cool. I get all my stuff, all natural, get it from overseas. I just made a shipment from New Zealand. Cool. The price is going to stay the same. Like the 30 milliliter bottle, there are people, like you said, Baccarat Rouge is charging you $200 for a 30 milliliter bottle.
$245.
What's wrong with that? $45 against $245, almost $250?
Yes. Yes.
And the product is just as good, if not better. Why are we having an argument about that?
We got a customer.
Wait.
She can speak to
Wait. I didn't even know they was coming. Hold on. Let me show you, okay? I have a product right here. I didn't know y'all was coming. This is 30 mil right here. I use this every day since I saw you at the event. Look how much it lasts all day.
Like you need a re-up, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
We brought extra.
I do need to
we
re-up.
brought some.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So
okay, I got holler at you.
We brought stuff. And real quick, you said in the beginning, we too cool to smile. He will tell you, I've been smiling since day one. The smile does not leave my face. So even if I'm quiet, mad, upset, happy, crying, whatever, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. I'm never too cool to smile.
We love that.
But all right.
You ever looked at a nigga side and they just be cheesing? That's Rob all the time. Yo. Yeah, I was like, I was like, hey, yo, bring him back. Y'all don't know what I see something, buddy, bro. I need buddy. What? Man, let me just in the helmet smiling. I'm like, yo,
scared.
Yeah,
we don't trust them. we need to throw some footage. Send us some footage so we can make sure we throw it into the show. We need to get clips of the joke. Nev, right?
I deal with some of that stuff.
That's what I want to know, because you're in the event space, a different Black business, but a Black business that's important nonetheless. What are you seeing in the market?
So, all right, everybody becomes my friend 7 p.m. before an event. That's the craziest part. That's one of the most frustrating things about it is everybody want to get in free. Or they want to get in. Oh, I know the ticket's 40. Let me get this for 30. So when I first started, I took a lot of hits because it's hard for me to say no. I had to learn to say no. I had to get a lot of people in my ear like, you can't be everybody's best friend in business. So when it comes to events, that's a big one, because with being a face on it or being a host of it, all they gotta do is have 1 degree of separation from you, and it's discount time. It's we went to 6th grade. I ain't seen you since 8th grade, but it's like, man, we was in
niggas.
And
hey man, you gave me shit to go.
It's stuff like that. Also with hip hop events, some of the stuff that you run into is higher insurance. Just because it's hip hop, it doesn't even matter the artist.
Wow.
And that's the only I would say genre of music that asks for the artist background.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I've had events where the insurance asked for the artist background.
That's interesting. And
Very.
something I would not have known.
Yep.
I'm sure Travis Scott didn't make that no easier for y'all though.
Yeah, so, and the rate's higher. It's just different things like that. A lot of venues they shy away from it. You gotta I feel like in that event space you have to earn the reputation of having smooth events before they give you the benefit of the doubt. And in other cases it's probably the complete opposite. Once you mess up 2 times, then they like, all right, we gotta watch you. So
On the other side of that, what's the benefit of like establishing yourself in that space though?
Establishing yourself in that space is once you have that following and once you have those people that know you do solid work, it just keeps going and it goes everywhere. I had an event on U Street last night and I saw people from where I'm at, which is an hour away, taking that drive. And I get asked all the time if I step back for about 2 months, it's like when you gonna have a party. I've been in the venues before just to get food, and bartenders are like, I made the most money the night that you were here.
Wow.
I've told the managers bring you back, stuff like that. So just seeing how you don't even know you're touching other people's, situations or building their businesses. I've had vendors come in and some of their best sale nights are those nights because we're pushing them too. So when I'm on the microphone, I'm like, yo, make sure y'all go shop with them. So I gotta definitely link with y'all because we got the Juneteenth event. I'm on the Juneteenth committee in my city. So we got Northeast Groovers. I'm co-headlining, but then I'm also on the board. So we have vendor space, we have stuff like that. And we're trying to push the Black business, and it's crazy because Out of Lee Park is actually in Leesburg, Virginia. And if you know the history behind Leesburg, Virginia, we have a Juneteenth event there.
For sure.
You said Dulles, right?
We've done it.
Sure.
It's the 6th year. So just trying to make it bigger.
Congratulations on that. That's big.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Irvin. Shout out to the Berg Family Reunion Club. So we just have stuff like that for the community. My son performs in it all the time.
That's hard.
So even when it comes to music, like stuff like that, like if I have opportunities and my son can there with me, because I remember at 10 years old, I wanted to be able to get those type of space. I had dreams of being on the radio. Now my son's on the radio at 10 years old.
That's tough.
It bites me in the ass. Think he it. But, but,
that's hard on Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
My birthday. I'm about to say your birthday, bro.
Now that's beautiful.
Appreciate it.
And I think too, like, it is difficult for Black people in any space, really. Like, pick an industry. You know what I mean? Everything is harder when you're Black, and that's the unfortunate reality of the life that we live, right? But I also think it makes the accomplishments that much sweeter, right? Yeah. So on the other side of it, what are you most proud of thus far, as far as what you're seeing and how you're building the business? Let's start with Arm.
I think to start, one on a personal note and then one like professionally. I think personally, again, back to how I got involved with Rob, like just childhood friends, I got into it on like, yo, I don't even want no money from you. It just feels dope my brother win at something. Like you taking a passion and something you was doing in the crib, like in mom's basement, and we're able to put your passion out in front of other people and like they love it the way you love it, and they really can see you at work, right? But I think professionally, when you get people to come in and be like, yo, I didn't even know y'all had people in this space. Like, oh, y'all are two like young dudes, both under 30. And they like, whoa, y'all got a luxury fragrance brand? Like, oh, like we not the dude, especially growing up here in the DMV, we not the youngin' on the corner with the oil, with the belt on. That's like, oh, we got this oil. You trying to get this golden sand. You trying to get the pink pussy and all this. I mean, look, man. I seen your clip when you was talking about it, right? I seen your clip. We grew up on the old man. But when you could tell people like, we grew up on Buddy, but when you could tell people like, nah, like we got a fragrance brand, we got a fragrance company, like it puts a little bit of oomph behind it, like, oh, y'all serious, not doing this for play. Yeah. So I think like that level of professionalism that we try to bring with any events. We've done a couple of different events. Shout out to like Arthur Willer Distillery. Like they had a great pop-up event for us. And just going to a lot of different places, man. I think like collaboratively doing it with my brother and putting it ourselves in a space that I know people that look like us don't frequent. That's just the hugest accomplishment for real.
Nah, facts. And honestly, like shout out to Arthur Willer Spirits, man. One of our sponsors as well. I think having Black businesses who are established to support people who look like us, not just in terms of like money, right? Because anybody can throw you a couple of dollars, but people who actually like provide you with a space, show up for you, participate in these events with you, want to be part of it is very, very special. How did that connection come about?
actually, it was one of his buddies that he used to work with. His name was Ryan Villigrim.
Marketing.
He used to be a teacher. His cousin is Bo Floyd Wheeler, and he's like, hey, my cousin has this own distillery out in Upper Marlboro. You guys should talk to him. He gave us the connection. We went out there to the distillery. Like, hey, just interested in what you're doing. Ryan made the connection. Here we are. He's like, yeah, come on out. He's like, I'm not gonna charge you. I just want you guys here. I want you guys to showcase your stuff. And we went there 3 weeks later. It was an amazing event, like one of the best things we have ever been a part of.
Ryan might be Mr. A&R.
Nah, that's my guy, man. That's my dog.
He's really one of the most selfless people
That's my dog.
I've run across, like, in business. Like, somebody who just sees a need and says, hey, there's a way to fill this. And I think that can be kind of rare, because I think a commonality, and an unfortunate one at that, in our community is there are a lot of people who feel like your shine dims their light. And so they don't want to help you get there, right? They may have 100%. All the contacts, all the connections. That is a level of uniformity that has existed throughout the DMV for a long time. And so, like, really seeing that, like, jealousy, that's really what it is. Y'all some hating niggas, you know what I'm saying? Seeing, like, this area transition out of that in so many different spaces is beautiful, right? So if that's the case, what opportunities do you hope to provide, right, to other young Black business owners, to other young Black people? What is your plan to, like, reach out and touch back?
Yeah, Rob touched on a little bit about being a teacher. I'm actually a vice principal in my daytime as a, like, lifelong educator. And we've already put together through, like, the KIP network that we worked in. We did a Black male educators event to, like, sponsorship for kids, young entrepreneur programs, trying to get them spaces where they can be creators and curators of their own passions and joys, whether that's music and just anything, and, like, stuff like this, like podcast creation and everything. Like, to your point, I feel like we all know enough people. We all carry our own Rolodex of an amazing network that is like, yo, how can we not just put this out here and give everybody this access? I think you got to not be a hater. You got to be confident in who you are yourself, because, like, leaving this space, I'm like, yo, I become a fan of y'all. Like, you think I ain't gonna bump some of Neff stuff on the way out? I'm gonna bump that on the way out. I ordered the kids book before we came in when he was telling me about it. Like, I'm gonna read it to my kids. Like, fan of the podcast, like, we resharing clips and everything. So it's like, I leave spaces better than I found them, of being like, yo, somebody else gonna see this and they're gonna love it and fall in love with it, even if it wasn't the thing for me at the moment. Like, sharing it, it don't cost nothing to send a like and reshare something for your friends, right? Like, why not?
Take notes, people. Take notes.
And Neff, like, you spoke about, you know, you're providing opportunity for your sons, which I think is, like, every father's dream in a way, right? To be able to, like, leave space for your children to not only follow and pursue their dreams, but to witness them, like, come to fruition, right? Where else are you attempting to kind of reach out?
So I'm working on a personal project called Neon Black University, because Neon Black is the company. That's the company that I built with my kids. Neon Black University, what I want to have is the different resources I have, and have kids in the community meet those different people to get education before life hits you, to get it. So one of the things that really drives me is when I see younger kids, younger versions of myself, and I have a conversation and they say, hey, I want to write a book. I had a Barnes & Noble book signing, my first Barnes & Noble book signing.
Wow.
And the crazy thing about the Barnes & Noble book signing was I was an author for 30 minutes and they gave it to me, right? And rap, it took me decades. To get any opportunity. I got the books to my house. They come to my house. I go to the Barnes & Noble up the street just to have a conversation, and they gave me a date.
Wow.
They gave me, and it gave me a new vision, a new perspective of, like, even how that works. So then at the Barnes & Noble, little girl comes up to me, she has the book, and she says, I always dreamed about being an author. I told her, I said 6 months ago, I do. So everything can change in that amount of time. If you a lot of people don't have somebody to show them not how easy it is, but the direction to go. If you're moving forward and you're just driving on a road, but you don't know what direction you're going, you can go the opposite way, diagonal. But I think a lot of people just need the direction,
right?
Or one conversation. One conversation can change everything. So what I was saying with the Neon Black University was having some of my resources, share these with these younger kids. Go to these schools. I've gone to a couple schools with the book, talk to teachers, talk to troubled kids, things of that nature. And it's crazy how many kids want to get into music, want to get into podcasts, and want to write books. a girl showed me a manga she had already written
Wow.
that she had already used on the software on the phone.
Mm.
And like, I don't know what to do with this.
Wow.
And I was like, go to this publisher,
Mhm.
go right then and there. And it's like, you're 13 years old and you can already be ahead of
Published author.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You don't know what you want to do in college. You don't know. Like, that's stressful. Being 18 and being asked all these questions, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to school? I got a son right now who, you know, that's the questions that we're asking him. And he's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But he has a love for clothing. And I have a cousin who has a successful clothing line. So I have him go up to his house, make some clothes. Is this really what you want to do? Is this something you're interested in? You know, touch a couple dollars from it and then, you know, so that's this stuff that
That's hard.
Exposure.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I'm working on something too about with black men that's writing, especially children's book,
Yeah,
because we trying to get the literacy rate up.
exactly.
So I do want to get with you later. I am working on something to where we can tour, you know, like you said, and build that out. But that's hard. I like that. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Come read to my kids, man. I'll get the space, man. Look, we can figure it out with the schools, man. That'd be dope.
Nah, facts.
For real.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think like that is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard, because I think like as somebody who went to college, right, and got like a master's or whatever, I think college is truly for the directionless. Because I think like I was a person who like I was good at a lot of things, but you don't really know what you want to do with none of this, right? And I didn't have anybody to like encourage me for dream and passion, right? I come from a family and a generation of like, nah, go to school, you can figure it out later, right? And if you're not gonna go to school, then you need to get a trade. Passion was never ever emphasized. And I think looking back on it, that wasn't. I had a conversation with my mother. I'll never forget this. When I did music, my very first project, I had my mom write me like a letter, right? And just read it. And that was like one of the songs. And I'll never forget her saying, like, when you graduated high school, I would have bought you a business, but you didn't ask.
Mm.
And I think about that now at 35, and it's like, Mama, I love you. But
I'm calling Mom too. Ouch, though.
we went back this weekend, so she unsubscribed. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, because I was wilding.
Yeah.
But but I was like, wow. You know what I mean? And I think like that is not a fault of our parents. I think it's just generation, right? My parents are much, much older. I was the last of three. My brother and my sister are nearly 50. And so, you know, you were taught to be focused and not necessarily to be passionate. And so I think like giving kids an opportunity to one, figure out what those passions are, to give them options in terms of how to pursue them, to show them how money can be made in this, and then allow them to make decisions is so important, because I know, at least coming from the generation before them, that was just something that we never discussed. Right? Like if you had passions and dreams, if you had plan and purpose, and you had something you could present to them, then yeah, maybe. But you know to do that.
That's hard to do.
How would you know that you had investors in your mama, daddy, aunties, and uncles unless they told you? You know what I mean? And so I think that that's the beauty of like our generation having children, is that you come from this generation of like, nah, like I went to school, but I have passions too. I have things that I like. I have things that I want to do, and they don't have anything to do with making money. Why are those things not important too? And I think so often when we talk about passion, we only talk about it in the context of like the return on the investment, right? Never the purpose or alignment that goes with it. And I think very often for me, what I've learned, perhaps the hard way in this life, is that direction is much less important than alignment. And so like if you love something, want to do something, you can move in a direction and it be the wrong one, right? But if you're aligned in that purpose, right, and aware of where God is supposed to be placing you or whatever you believe in, right, I think that aids in being able to like be unstoppable. Because you can move in direction and be wrong and be going the wrong way. You talk, you know what I'm saying? You can set yourself back. Just moving. And some people moving and ain't really going nowhere.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I have seen some business owners over the years, and it's like they'll give me like a product, right? And I'm like, this product is great, but your hair ain't cut when you coming up to me. You got this wrinkled t-shirt on. You look like you ain't showered a day. This is crazy. Like, honestly, these things matter. We like to act like presentation is not a part of things. But Black folks in particular are very vain. And people don't want to like invest in, purchase, provide like any type of comp to something that even looks like they shouldn't be fucking with it, even if the product is fantastic. So the presentation behind things is as important as the product itself. So I think like teaching our kids all of these things to believe in their passions and then giving them a direction that allows them to figure out how they align with their passions is dope.
Our folks care about the optics, right? Like
For
it
sure.
gotta look like it. It gotta look like something. We think about that even when it comes down to like how we selected the bottles, man. Like
the stickers,
everything,
the labels,
like
literally everything.
a box that it goes in.
If you would have saw what the vessels looked like when I first started out, you were like, man, I ain't never buying that. It looked like it should have been at the flea market, which I'm not gonna lie, low-key was. But it looked like it. The bottles we have now, like I'll shout out the Q's like, nah, we're not, you're not putting that out. He's like, oh, what you mean, bro? Like, it smells good. He's like, I don't care what it smells like. Look, like you wouldn't buy that. You wrote the name on the bottle.
It
like,
matters.
you're right, man.
It matters.
No.
The Baccarat bottle sexy. It smells good, but it's sexy.
Yeah, psychology. Yeah.
Because you know people collect things, right? Like if I own fragrances, I got my nice little stand in the crib. How the bottle? That's how I think about. How my bottle about to look up there?
And that's really a thing.
When people see it, like even if they ain't smell it first, like she whipped the bottle off, people gonna go like, "Oh, what's that?" Like, "Oh, that look nice. Let me smell that." Like everything from the boxes we put it in to you getting handcrafted cards, like thank you letters, signature sign-ons. Like you can get a blurb from the chemist about the breakdown. Like if you're really into the science, like it's something for everybody in it. Like you know, like we said, the psychology of it is like whatever you like. If you just like the look of the bottle, if you love the smell, if you just really into like the creative process behind it, like we try to offer that through everything. So
that's beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean that's why when you spoke about, you know, I like about this generation. Each generation gets more fearless as it go on.
Exactly.
Sure.
So even like your children now is going to even be more fearless than you. But that's what kind of prevented, you know, our parents from instilling that in us because it was a fear thing. Like, man, this is secure.
This is safe.
Folks get a job.
Security.
It's secure. Go that route.
So even with neon black, the name behind it is black is an ultimate. It's an ultimate color. You can't alter it, right? But neon is a characteristic of a color. When we put a characteristic on top of black, it does not change what it looks like. How do you sell that? How can you convince somebody your passion, your vision? Sometimes your vision, the people around you can't see it until you can show them physically what it is. And I think that's the hardest part of being an entrepreneur because it's always going to sound crazy until it's genius. So I always
talking that talk.
So I always like my cousins and the people I talk to when we're building stuff, I'm like, it's gonna sound like delusion, then it's gonna sound crazy, but then it's gonna be like, how'd you think about that? And how did you make that work? What, you know what I mean? And
I mean, because most people can't, we still think low of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta get to a point where we think highly of ourselves because once you put it in your thought, it's real.
Yeah.
Right. That thought is in the atmosphere.
But that's like gnats in a bottle, though. Gnats in a bottle. If you put a top over top of it, they learn to not go past that. Top. And if we have a generation in front of us, or the standard of how things go, if we're supposed to stop right here, then we'll stop right there. If someone's saying when you supposed to have 9-5, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to have your stuff in order, and that's a lot of pressure too, because some people gonna get their stuff in order late in life and be millionaires. You know, so if you putting a time on yourself, and I think that's a big thing with social media too. You comparing, you putting that go back to you gotta run your own race. You can't run. Oh, this person is doing this. You don't know. They might be 10 years into what you just started. They might be 20 years and you don't know what that person went through. So you got to just,
or the kind of help that they had trying to get there.
Exactly.
Don't compare yourself
your journey
to a
is your
trust
journey.
fund or like this other stuff behind them. I've noticed that a lot, like with a lot of the streamers, right? Especially the ones that don't look like us. Like, well, why are you comparing yourself to a guy who comes from a rich family that had $100,000 to give him for marketing and budget?
Or they making deals with the devil behind the scenes. You don't know what those people doing to get there. What they doing, man?
I'm telling you.
Yo, we literally had this conversation in the parking lot. He was like, "Bro, you've been doing this since 22, and it didn't blow up until the past 6 months." It's like everybody's saying what you're doing now. So someone asked me, like, "Oh man, what did you do yesterday?" And it's like, "Man, I've been doing something that I've been doing the past 4 years." That's what I did yesterday, like the same process, and I just gotten better at it.
For sure.
That's all it is. Yeah.
And I think that's the other side of it, right? Is perfecting the process.
Yes.
And I think it can get discouraging, right? To do something year after year after year and not necessarily see the return. But I think like what we miss in that is like, no, you're perfecting your process. You're getting better
What
at
you
this
just said,
every
your
day.
alignment.
Yes.
I was aligned with helping people. That's been my value since day one. I wanted to help people. No matter what it was, I was going to do something to help people. When I lost my job, it's like, okay, what can I do that can help people? I have really sensitive skin. Let me make something that smell good that people can put on their skin. And it's like, because everybody told me like I had sensitive skin, eczema, hyperpigmentation, everything, hyperpigmentation, my bad. So let me make something that can help people. So I was aligned with helping people day one. That's also why I'm a teacher. Let me help somebody. So I was aligned with doing that, and I just got to do something that helped me do that.
I mean, that's the
alignment
that's
is
the cheat
important.
code.
That's
Alignment is important.
You know, life is bigger than ourselves.
100%.
Right. So when you make up your mind and say, how can I solve a problem? And it's not about me. God is going to put you where you need to be. And, you know, people think entrepreneurs about making money. No, it's really about how can I help people and be of service.
And honestly, like understanding that is what makes the difference in terms of like who you become in the midst of your greatness, right? Because you can get everything that you thought you wanted out of this particular product or venture or whatever and lose yourself completely, right? Jeff Bezos could literally solve world hunger, and he on yachts having motherfucking bubble parties. You know what I'm saying? That's what this nigga is doing with $1 trillion. Like that, I'm saying like that the 93 billionaires in this country who could literally solve all of these problems could care less about people. And you see where that's getting us. So I think like if these 93 people with most of the money refuse to help people, then the crazy thing is it becomes everybody else's responsibility. And that's something that you just have to take on. And it's something that you have to want to take on. Because I don't want to be like some billionaire who having parties on a yacht who could solve world hunger and say, fuck everybody. That's crazy to me. To be able to fix it all, but instead say, fuck it all. That to me is insane. And I think like you don't ever want to be like the black guy who like gets to the point where he's arrived, right? And you don't got nothing to show for it. You got all that money, but you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no peace of mind, right? You don't got nobody around who really love you, who really in your corner. You ain't got nobody you can trust. What is the benefit of any of that?
That's important too, though, while you on your journey, though, because a lot of times when you quote unquote arrive or you feel like you got there, then it becomes, oh dang, you got too good for the hood. You got too good for all of us. And quickly, other people start to turn their back on you because as you elevate, you have to like weed yourself away from some groups, some friends, some people. But like if they haven't been or if their mind isn't open to that change, then a lot of people they look at you different. And so like you feel the isolation, you feel like this survivor's remorse, right? Like I don't feel like I've made it, right? But I got a pretty good career and I get a couple dollars and then I move out of the hood and get a little family, get a little house, and everybody like now ride through the hood. They like, oh damn, here you go, he too good for all us. Oh, okay, VP nigga, you know, I'm like, damn, like I thought we all wanted to do good, right? Like, oh, you can't come out here and stand out on the block with us. I'm like, if we want to hang out, we can go somewhere. Like, let's go somewhere and hang out. We can go to an event on U Street or something. We can get a couple bottles. We can have a good time, right? But
we never talk about the danger
why we got to do that?
of never leaving.
Like why?
There is an obvious danger in never leaving. Nipsey never left.
You can't, like, you have to get around other people that are trying to elevate. Like we all hear the cliche, John, about like you can't be the smartest person in the room. Get in a different room. Like I'll say, like you got to get with other people who just want something different. Like just want something different. Like I don't care what it is. Like I think we try to have friends that are all good at something different. Like everybody be good at something different. You get that's back to your network or your Rolodex. Like I know somebody that you want someone with a car, great. You want to learn about a pod, you want to learn about the music industry, you want to learn about a fragrance. Like I know a guy. Like I'm Mr. I know a guy. You know what I mean? Like just being like well versed to get along with everybody and just mix stuff up. Like because if you don't, then you will end up by yourself and isolated.
For sure. And I think that's always the motto here, working across, is sitting in a room with people you may have never met before, figuring out what you have in common, how you can help each other, and working across those spaces. And we say this all the time, like people get to a certain space, they want to expand, and it becomes about working vertically. And they forget about the geniuses sitting right next to them. These people who are great at a million things sitting right next to you, right? And I think like when you forget, and I think the other side of it too, right? When we talk about like how long it takes, right, to get to whatever point of arrival you say that is God is like teaching you patience in the midst of that.
Yeah.
Some people get it too soon and then fumble it all.
Oh my.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Don't know what
people
to do
blow
with
it. Like
Hell yeah.
you want to be Ye? That's what you want to be? You want to be $3 billion in and be a psychopath? You getting rejected from 3-4 different countries
Right.
because you had an episode 5 years ago because you ain't got nobody around you. That's trash. I don't want that.
And
That
NFL draft
part,
next
people
week.
will say yes. People will say yes to that because they'll be like, "Oh, I had the money. I did it. Doesn't matter where I ended up, but I got there." And that's the saddest thing because, like, what do you really want? Then? Like, what is your end? Like, not NLB, but like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your purpose? Like, what do you want to produce to the world? What do you want to give to the rest of the world?
And who do you want to be?
Yeah, like you just want to make the money and then lose it all. Like for what?
And I think it's important to like really take your time.
I think the process is like you gotta learn to enjoy the process.
For
like
sure.
if you try to just get to the finish line all the time, you forget. You know, I think a lot of the ups and downs create the journey.
Sure.
And also humble you so you don't become the worst version of yourself when you get there.
Exactly. You gotta sit down. You gotta sit down.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. Like people accomplish so much so quickly and then they didn't have to go through the process like what humbles you so that you really appreciate it when it happens. I think that's the difference between like a I look at like Coleman Domingo, right? Who won an Academy Award. He's on Euphoria right now. Like Coleman really wasn't buzzing until he was 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the beauty of like God taking his time, you understanding that and staying patient in it.
Yeah.
It's like whatever God has for me next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now is meant to be. It is ordained. And I don't want to move outside of my ordainment. I don't want to move outside of God's purpose to have what I think I want and then get it. And it turns out to be a disaster. And I'm miserable now. Got all the things and nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So I think like whether it takes you 5, 10, 15, whatever it is, right? Took Coleman Domingo 20 years. And now look. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that is the beauty of like biding your time in your process.
And sometimes I feel like if you get it at the wrong time, you got elements around you, you got you're not mature enough.
You haven't learned how to weed it out.
You got your circle might be you might have something you might have the terrible element. You get a big old check to somebody like, all right, this is what you gonna do with that. This you should do this. You go back here, stun on everybody. Like you know what I mean? So
prime example.
You might not have the mature attitude to even deal with the blessing because your blessing may be to bless others. Yeah. And if you don't have that mindset, you get your blessing. The next thing you know, like you said, you can't go back to certain places. You feel empty. You have everything, but you're empty because of how you got it. Once you got it, you just your mindset of, you know what I mean?
Are you guys familiar with the parable of talents? The parable of talents. That's the biggest thing, stewardship. Like you have what God gave you, whatever it was he gave you, whether it was talent, whether it was riches, whether it was intelligence, you have to nurture that.
For sure.
You can't hold it. You can't just give it all away, but you have to nurture that. And I think that's the biggest thing, stewardship. One thing I learned just when I got my first place, stewardship. I was like, all right, I got my place. I'm thinking about getting a house. And my girl was like, no, take care of this place. You leaving dirty dishes in the sink for like 4 days. What's wrong with you? And I'm
For
like,
sure.
You got a point. I'm not even appreciative of what God already gave me. And I'm looking to the next thing. It's like,
you talking my talk. I'm trying to tell you, real talk. What God has taught me. I think it's like if he had given me all the things I wanted when I first started pursuing something, I would have messed it all up anyway. Right. And I think like even now, right, I'm constantly learning how to manage myself. Right. I am brash and verbose. I know exactly who I am when I walk in a room. And sometimes that can turn on its ear. And I think like what God has constantly like tried to remind me of is like, like remember who I made you, not who you're trying to be. Like who I'm trying to turn you into versus who you want to be. If those don't align, you need to forget your version of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like Chaz will tell you, right? So we had some things going on this week, and there was an opportunity that I was weighing. And to without getting into too much detail, the opportunity was for me to be an asshole. or for me to humble myself.
Opportunity is a crazy word.
Yeah, honestly, like
I thought it was a business venture.
reject some shit as an opportunity sometimes. If I'm being honest, because the truth is, like, people do play with you, right?
for sure,
Especially when you haven't arrived yet,
Mhm.
right? People don't take you as seriously as you taking yourself.
Yep.
They don't take your dreams and your passions as seriously as you're taking them,
Mhm.
right? And so they'll downplay and minimize
Mhm.
as though you don't know who you are.
Mhm.
Like, nah, I might not be in this place yet, but I'm already who I am.
Yep.
I walk into every room knowing that. And that arrogance can fuck with me sometimes. And so I like had this a choice to make, right? You can humble yourself and approach this as though you one of my children,
Mhm.
or you can be who you think you want to be in the
Mhm.
situation. And I chose to humble myself. It was the best decision I ever made. But those are decisions that I'm still making in real time, if
Yep.
I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the other part of it, is humbling yourself to know, like, man, I still got some shit to figure out.
Mhm.
And I think if
Self-awareness
you
is
humble yourself
big.
in the process,
Mhm.
you will
Uh-huh.
constantly be put in position where, like, you're given opportunities, you're given people, you're given scenarios to be able to prove why you deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And in passing that test, God will elevate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Every
But-
time.
If you don't pass these tests, you are doomed to repeat them.
Mhm.
So I'm getting to a space where it's like, nah,
Please.
nigga, I'm tired of repeating these
Yeah.
tests. Like, we gotta do this different. Like,
No more.
I was an asshole last year. We can't do it like this no more. Like,
Mhm.
nigga, shut up sometimes. Like,
I learned my lesson.
I learned my lesson, Lord. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm learning every time. I could have told this bitch out, like, but I don't.
Shout out to you.
Shout
Shout out to growth and self-awareness.
out to growth. Because
Mhm.
honestly, the last time this test was put in front of me, I failed it miserably.
Mm.
If we being honest, that's just me being transparent,
Yeah.
right? I'm open and honest enough to admit that, like, I missed the mark sometimes, right? I don't always get it right.
Mhm.
But because I love God as much as I do, and He adores me as much as He does, He give me another opportunity.
That's
And the
right.
thing about me is, like, I know that I'm one of God's favorites because them tests come right back.
Mhm.
I don't gotta wait a year to
Yeah.
get my karma.
Mhm.
That thing coming next week.
Mhm.
God, like, all right, look, Monday, that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Friday, get it together. You
Yeah.
get 4 days of study.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I approach my life. Like, you could pass this test or you could fail this test. You pass it, I'm gonna elevate you. You
Mhm.
fail it, you're gonna repeat it. What you wanna do?
Yep.
You gotta get tired of failing stuff. But
Mm.
it's some people like, nah, they go through the same test. Ye been going through the same test since 2004 and been failing since 2004. But because there's money coming,
It's crazy.
What is that?
yay.
That's subjective.
Oh, wait a minute.
Say he's failing, but that's subjective. What is he failing?
Purpose.
He's probably walking in it.
He probably
Already.
think he
And
knows
his-
it.
Swap the
That's
chain
I
and
think
the
he's
excitement
working
on
in
the
it.
the
But
purpose.
see, because you don't make, again, we don't know. My ways is not your ways. The way I think is not how you think. So yeah,
Touche.
it's probably is
Exactly where he wanna be.
purpose, right?
Right.
Exactly
That's
where
true.
I need him to be.
That's true.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
And test and trial always come to make you mature and complete. And
Every
like
time.
nothing. So, you know, sometimes
Say
you
that
go
again one more
through
time.
things.
What's that?
Test and trial, which is James 1, I believe. They come to make you mature and complete so that you lack nothing.
Mm.
And so everything that you
I'll
go
write
through
that
is
down
meant
real quick.
to,
I'm
like,
not gonna
make
lie,
you
I
your
like
best
that.
self.
You can write that down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
James 1.
Yeah, it's the first book in James. That's one of my favorites. And so, like, that's something that I live by, right?
Mhm.
Anything that I go through never meant to destroy me.
Mm.
It cannot destroy me,
Mhm.
right? I might go through, I might hurt, I might crumble, I might trip, I might fall a little bit, but I'm getting back up because that is what God has for me.
Yep.
I am more than a conqueror. I'm
Mm.
meant to be what I'm meant to be. Can't nobody stop me but me.
I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
But the reality is that you can get in your own way.
Yes.
Very easy.
And so
Yeah, for sure.
you can think,
Mhm.
For sure.
especially if you're in a space of, like, I'm a genius. And you've had an opportunity to prove that
So the yay moment.
time and time again. And nobody's been able to disprove that you a genius. You are one.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can get lost in that too.
Mhm.
I think you, but I don't know that for Ye. You know what I'm saying? And I see what Chad is saying on that.
Subjective
I
as-
don't know that.
No, I mean,
But-
you can get in your own way, but
Mhm.
when you, in terms of Ye, I say it's subjective because he's still here
Yeah.
For sure.
doing it. So obviously he's still doing his purpose.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
sometimes even what we may seem as mistakes is, again, is bigger than me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So with him doing what he do is probably waking up the babies is coming up after him like, oh, that's strange. I'm not walking that path with my baby. You know what I'm saying? So he already said he know he's a sacrificial lamb in a sense. So he's moving like one.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's subjective, because he could be doing what is needed for this new generation coming behind him.
Not facts.
Because it's bigger than Ye at this point. It's not about him no more.
When you got blank million people telling you God's gift to the world, and you got another 500,000 people telling you, oh my God, you losing your mind, like
doing something.
I can only imagine. Like it's illogical. Like you can't even make sense of like what's up from down at that point. I'm sure. Like it's so many people that's probably gonna feed into exactly what he does believe, and so many people that's like, you got to have such a strong circle. I'm sure once you reach that level of fame to be like, yo, let me remind you who you are, who you're supposed to be. At least what you told us. Because like just waking up and like you turn on the TV, you can be like, believe whatever you want to believe at that point.
And it's important to stay grounded in the midst of it. But sometimes, like, you know, in a case like his, like I cannot imagine what it would be like and what it will be like to lose my mother. And I think like when you have an amazing mother, shout out to Miss Michelle, to kind of like ground you. Right. And to humble you and to remind you like of how far you have left to go. It becomes easier to kind of approach things with a certain level of humility. But if you only have people around you telling you like you're a genius, it becomes a little harder to stay like in a space of like realism. You know what I'm saying? And so like, not to say, not to discount anything that Chaz is saying, because I agree with that. Because I think that the reality is that every choice exists in an ecosystem, right? And so you make choices that may seem like mistakes, that may seem like disasters, but you have no idea how those disasters can positively impact an ecosystem, right? It's something like, let's say, right now in Korea, there are like jellyfish that are overgrown, like you're talking like 600 pounds overgrown, floating through the water that would typically die out when they get into like colder water because of the fact that they're supposed to service the atmosphere for this part of the year, die off, and then the new system like comes in. But because like they have like so much issue with I forget what it is, but it's like the power plants are like dumping into the water, so it's making the water warmer than it's supposed to be for like longer periods of the year. And so what is supposed to be naturally occurring within that ecosystem is like damaging the ecosystem. But also like those jellyfish are killing like natural predators that like destroy parts of the ecosystem too. So every decision, whether like positive or negative, impacts something that can like build something later on. And I think that's God's design. I think God's design is like, no matter what your choice is, like I got it.
There we go.
Everything is meant to glorify me, even if you think it's not.
Many are called, but only a few are chosen. So when he was talking about we were talking about being fearless and taking risks and the vision. See, when few are chosen, right? If you really focus on what your purpose, you may get certain signs or hear things only that you're gonna hear. So sometimes like probably only hearing stuff from God or seeing signs to where he has to move out in a certain direction.
That's true.
We won't understand it maybe for another 10 years, but it'll make sense later down the line.
Yeah, because it's not for us, it's for him.
You're right. That's exactly.
That's for sure.
To your point about like being fearless and things happening in a cycle, I was trying to mention this earlier, but like a real world example of something that's about to happen that's similar to this topic. The NFL draft happens next week, right? These are kids that's about to become instant millionaires of like in their families. They about to be the it person in these neighborhoods. They gotta decide like, do I want to stay around these people? Do I bring these people with me? Who do I trust? It's 30 agents calling me. I got a manager. I mean, again, some of it at the college level, but like I always think about it because every year never fails. There's some random story that comes out just on draft night about something the kid done did. They ruined their life and everything. So it's just like, when I think about kids who get opportunities like those and they don't have the right systems, they don't have the right people that believe in them, then you end up in these wrong parties, these wrong circles, these wrong agents. It's crazy.
With these wrong chicks.
The wrong chicks. Like the average NFL career is 3 years. Nobody even knows that.
No, it's 3 seasons. It's
really, right.
1.5 years, technically 3 seasons.
And all in your mind, you've been thinking like, oh, I want to get to the NFL. Nobody be saying like, oh, I want to be in the NFL forever. You're like, oh, I want to get there. I want to get there. I want to make this money. And I always think about those because like how many of us, I'm sure you probably know an athlete that was great at something is like, where are they now?
Watts League is filled with
endless. I played flag
shade.
in the league. Like,
Shout out to
like it's a ton of million people that's like, oh man, I was nice. And I'm like, yeah, he was nice, but like,
Facts.
look at cuz now. Like,
Mhm.
That's the reality of it. It's the ugly reality of it. And the truth is, like, I say this all the time: rejection is protection.
mm,
So if you get to the league your first year, you tear your ACL, and that becomes the end of it, right? You don't know what God was protecting you from.
Yep.
Exactly.
Sometimes people arrive at these points and lose themselves completely and destroy themselves, right? God rest the soul of the Dallas Cowboys player, right? He had just scored a touchdown
Mhm.
like the week before, like was the star of the game, and killed himself that next week. You know, sometimes you get in these positions and you're not ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think, like, for me, that's what I'm learning in real time. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, like,
patience.
happening in God's time.
Mhm.
I don't gotta rush. I don't gotta worry. And Chad said something to me about that this week. Like, you pray for this kid.
Yeah.
And so,
Mhm.
like, because, you know, we went viral this week. Shout out to Smoking Shop. You know what I mean? You know,
Almost gave me a heart attack.
I mean,
Yeah, but that shit.
Man.
it was pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah.
I think,
She
like,
did.
I was not prepared for that moment. Because it was just like, you know, I'm just being funny, right? Because Smoking the Shop, they were wonderful, honestly. Like, it was probably some of the most fun I've ever had. They coming on here. And I was just like kind of being myself, being funny.
Mhm.
And I was like, I wake up and then like 2 days later, it's like, oh no, 100,000 people saw this.
Mhm.
And so it like threw me, right? In the midst of 100,000 views on a thing, there are 1,000 or so likes on a thing.
Mhm.
In the midst of 1,000 or so likes, there are 600 or 700 comments on a thing,
Mhm.
right? How many of those you think is positive?
Mhm.
I've been cooked all week. All right, I've been cooked all week long by strangers who didn't actually watch the show.
Right.
Yep.
They
It's a
saw
clip.
20-second
One
clip
clip.
of a joke,
Mhm.
right? With people I was having a great time with, and like turned it into something else.
Mhm.
And also, like, going viral, it brings out weirdos.
Absolutely.
Right, because the conversation on Smoke at the Shop is the concept, which I had no idea there was any debate about weirdos. With
Call 'em
like
out.
why high schoolers should not be dating people in their 20s.
Mhm.
I thought that was common knowledge,
Right.
right?
That's an argument.
And that's an argument.
Right.
Apparently.
That's right.
So my like not to take anything away from like watching Smoke at the Shop, because I think y'all should just go watch the episode.
Mhm.
But ultimately it came down to there was a question about, you know, if you're a high school student, say 16, 17, you got a 22, 23-year-old boyfriend or girlfriend, is this a problem? Or who is like responsible, accountable in that
Mhm.
situation?
Mhm.
And so for me, the answer is very obvious. The adult is
The
always
adult, yep,
accountable in that
yep.
situation, right? Because even as a child, if you have lived a fast life, you grew up fast, and you had to raise yourself, your
Still
mama
a
and your
kid.
daddy wasn't around,
Still a
and
kid.
whatever, you still a kid.
Yep.
And I
It's
think
not developed yet.
what I emphasized
Right.
on the show is that your life experiences do not necessarily provide you with the tools to process what's happening around you,
Mhm.
right? You can have a mama and a daddy who on drugs, and maybe you had to raise yourself, right? So you cooking your own breakfast, you taking yourself to school, like you get a job so you can help pay some of the bills around here. That doesn't mean that you actually have the emotional awareness to process what this trauma means for you
Mhm.
Don't.
and how it's going to impact you or your future.
Yep.
Right. So I think for me, it's like you can have experiences, but experiences do not necessarily guarantee tools for processing.
Yep.
And so that was my point. And so whether or not a kid thinks that they're ready for this, right? The adult in that situation should be responsible enough, godly enough, mature enough,
No.
care enough to walk away from it.
Right.
That is apparently not consensus.
Nope.
And there are a lot of people who feel as though high schoolers, kids of that age, should also be held accountable for being fast.
Absolutely
And I
not.
really thought that was like an ancient concept.
Yep.
Honestly,
Yep.
that's what surprised me. Now with Smoke at the Shop, these are good people,
Mhm.
and so really we're just discussing things, right?
Mhm.
You got to do what you got to do in order to, like, you know, kind of get the conversation going, right? But the reality is, like, there are human beings who were not sitting on that set that night who
Mhm.
feel like, nah, like these girls be fast.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
nah, like these boys be grown. Like,
Mhm.
huh?
These girls know what they doing.
Yeah. And the context of this was
16 and
Brandy and
17-year-old
Wanye
children?
Morris, right? To provide like
Mhm.
context. We were talking about Brandy and Wanye Morris, right?
Whew.
And so it's like, well, Brandy was lying to her parents, and you know she wasn't telling the truth about what happened. And did Wanye really know she was 16? He would have to be a fucking fool not to.
He
by the way.
definitely knew.
Because
knew.
there's no way that the biggest star in America at that point,
Yep.
right? The first young black girl with her own television show,
Mhm.
right? There's no way you didn't know how
Literally.
old this girl was. That would make, she was in high school on Moesha.
Yep.
She went to
That's a
prom with Kobe Bryant. What the fuck you? She went to prom with a nigga who wasn't you. What you mean you ain't know how old this girl was?
Why she didn't go with Wanye?
You know why?
Mhm.
So and honestly, like we ain't gonna get too deep into Wanye because he a weird nigga anyway. But I think when your children don't fuck with you, that say a lot about where you are.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, like there are a lot of people who feel like the accountability falls on both parties.
And not just
Like,
the
yeah,
adult.
he grown, but like she fast. And I'm gonna say it again: you ain't never fast enough for a nigga who's not a pedo.
Who?
I'm on that part too, though. I think,
Fuck these niggas.
like,
man.
I'm with.
Shit is crazy.
See, I can agree with both, because me ain't lied, not one time, right? But it is accountability on all part. Like again, you got children, right?
Yeah.
This is how you know accountability should be applied. If you sneaking to do something. If
For
my
sure.
son is 6-year-old, 8-year-old, sneaking to do something, he know better.
You know you're not supposed to do it.
You
sure.
get your ass whipped for that.
That's
For
fair.
sure.
I
And
can't,
I
I
agree with
can't say, oh, you a child, because you snuck in the head and lied. So you were accountable for that. Because if that was the case, then why not do it in the public?
I agree with that. And I 100%, and I said this on Smoke at the Shop, kids need to be accountable. You have to teach your children accountability because those skills increase and grow as you get older. Your accountability has to evolve in order for you to survive as an adult. So you absolutely have to teach your kids accountability. But even if they don't have it,
Right.
it should be the responsibility of the adult in that
Yeah, for
situation
sure.
to be accountable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And that is really my point. You telling me that you
sure.
think a 16-year-old should be accountable to an adult who doesn't have any accountability? If you ain't got it at 22, how you expect them to have it at 16?
They don't understand
grown
the
as shit and
severity
ain't got
of it. They don't understand the severity of the consequences. At 16, I was not even thinking about, oh, I shouldn't be dating this 23-year-old that I met at a Clemson University ball game when I was just painting faces. I didn't know no better. I wasn't even sneaking. I was just like out there just being a kid. And this grown ass man is like, oh yeah, let me get your number. And I'm like, I don't have a phone. And it's like, he didn't give a fuck. And it's like, is it my fault? No. It's a grown ass man, 23 years old. Like,
And in these thousands of comments, there are a million different perspectives on this, right? And I think, like, you know, we could talk all day about that. But I think, like, at the end of the day, the bottom line for me is, like, teach your children to be accountable.
absolutely.
But even if they have not learned that lesson yet,
Mhm.
I would hope that grown folks know not to contribute someone else's trauma.
And pray, because that's sick.
Yeah,
That's
lock
a
them niggas up, man.
Yeah.
16-year-old me was beefing.
Listen, follow us on TikTok right now, man. You weren't that
Hey.
podcast. I'm telling you.
Hey.
You'll see a lot of weirdos. Like, it's a lot of niggas that feel like, no, that's not no problem. She wanted it.
Hey,
Right. And it lets
that's
me
crazy.
know how this is so widespread.
Yep.
Because it's like you
That's
grown and you
crazy
feel
to
like,
me,
no,
though.
we have. And I think a lot of what I was reading in those comments was like, well, we have so many things in common.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Interests do not create accountability.
At all.
I mean, they don't create compatibility.
Mhm.
Just because you like the same music, and anime, and pizza, the fuck, like, what does that have to do with like building a future?
Right.
Just because you like the same shit.
You can't even vote. Like, kids can't even
Just
vote.
also
Like,
you can
can't
find
vote,
a
you can't
consenting
drink.
adult your age that
Mhm.
into all the same things
Facts.
you like.
But that also is telling too, like, maybe
If you can't, that's a
if
problem.
you can't, that's a telltale
Sorry.
sign.
Well,
Because they can't. They don't
that
have
to me
nobody.
is the commonality.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I see niggas who like, and I ain't gonna say y'all names, but it's some
Don't say
niggas y'all know.
Don't say 'em. Don't say 'em.
It's niggas 25, biggest niggas in the city that was picking up their girlfriend from high school at 16, and don't see no type of problem with it. You 25, nigga.
Couldn't stand them. Couldn't stand them.
You
niggas.
was wild with it.
Couldn't stand them. Nigga made it hard for little niggas like us.
You was wild with it.
I got $10.
I used to say names on it.
Chad, I got $10, man. We going to the candy lady. I'm like, hey, baby, what you need? Hey, look, I got you some Doritos, boy. I bought you a little Arizona iced tea. You know what I'm saying? You feeling good today? She. I'm sorry, I'm about to go with my boyfriend. He done pulled up in the BMW. I was like, who the hell is this? I thought that he was here to pick his kid up. What was that? Lock him up. Call the police. Lock him up. Lock him up, man.
I lie to you now. My grandfather, God rest his soul, he used to live around Potomac Avenue. And so it's right around the corner from junior high school. I would never forget grown niggas in that neighborhood waiting for that junior high dance let out to go see them little girls.
A junior high let out is
a
insane.
junior high let
Put
out.
them down.
It is wild to me. And listen, like, we all making mistakes, but it's just some shit I ain't even consider. Right. Listen,
how you come back from that?
Under 30.
That's not a mistake.
Why are you talking to me?
No.
Like, honestly, I really feel that way. At 35, under 30, sweetheart, let me go get you some candy. And let me call your mom so she can come pick you up.
Yep.
I don't even want to have a conversation with you under that. If you're not sitting on this show, I don't know if it's not about why are we conversing?
Why are we conversing?
I guess that was 25 on this show. We ain't never talk again. And that's not because I don't fuck with them. I don't got love with them. If they got an event or something going on, sure. What the fuck is we talking on the phone and shit for them?
You're 25.
You're 25. I was 3 years into a house note. Like
niggas still live with their moms. And no shade, but like we don't have nothing in common.
We don't have anything in common.
Nothing.
Genuinely. Sweetheart, you know how much I owed in taxes this year? You don't understand what the fuck I'm going through. Them taxes went the hell up. I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about? Bigger fish to fry, nigga. What are you talking about? If you don't take your ass to that ice cream truck and get on out my face, y'all, But I do 100% agree that everybody needs to be accountable at every age, right? My nephew is 10 years old. We have those conversations because my nephew is, in fact, I'm a little biased, but is in fact a genius.
Your twin?
2020. He does look just like me. People think he's my son. I'm so proud. But like Didi is 10. He speaks 5 languages. He plays 6 instruments. Like he's in like, and Virginia has a very advanced educational system.
Sounds like
so
a genius
his
to me.
like after school program is like robotics and stem cell training.
Right.
It is different now.
That's good.
Right. And so as a result, he has gotten to an age where he knows he's smart. Then he be getting smart with that mouth sometimes. I'll pop the shit out you. I love you. I love you. More than I love myself. But boy, I'll pop the shit out you. So you know this is not how you behave with an adult. Right? At 10, you gotta be teaching kids this kind of stuff at every age, at birth, right? If I tell a kid don't touch that stove, it's hot.
Yeah.
If I don't teach them to be accountable, if I don't teach them right from wrong, then what happens? They get hurt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody has to be accountable, but the adult in a situation should always be like, nah.
Every time. Every time, because you're an adult.
You grown. That's it. Go watch Smoke at the Shop though. That was a good interview.
So that brings me to flip the
Should we
script
do it?
segment. I'm just ask a question. You just almost like this or that, and then you choose your answer and just explain a little bit why. All right.
Are you all answering the same one, or is it like?
Okay.
Got you, got you, cool.
All right. Question: would you rather guide your young person toward a stable career they don't love, or support their passion even if there's no guarantee it works out?
Support the passion. Easy. Easy.
Why?
The reason, because let me get this right. Support the passion because at that age, that's what I would have wanted. That's what I crave.
Right.
Like the whole Neon Black is behind that. Like there's kids out there that crave somebody just to support me, just to get behind me. Like I saw something online the other day. Somebody said there's artists out there, painters, that don't pursue that passion because of the salaries and stuff like that. So there's people out there who aren't being who they are and being who they're supposed to be and living in their purpose because it's not stable. It's not a guaranteed check. It's not that. So it's all about purpose for me. So I would rather them be who they want to be, live the life they want to live, whether it's stable or not, and just help them pick up the pieces when they drop.
Okay.
I'm going to second that.
Okay.
Definitely go with the passion. If you are passionate about it, whatever it is, you will get better at it. The better you get at it, if you're good at it, you will get paid for it. If it's about a money thing,
Right.
There are people who shine shoes. I've seen it on Instagram. He's got thousands of viewers every time he goes live, shining shoes.
Wow.
There's a guy that blows bubbles for a living.
Yeah.
He gets paid $300 to blow some damn bubbles. He's got bubbles inside bubbles. He's got tricks with the bubbles.
Not fair.
He's blowing bubbles for a living.
I love that.
That nigga's fire. I love that for him.
Bubbles
love
in the
bubbles.
bubbles. Crazy.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to the show,
It
man.
don't matter what you do now. Obviously, like we see stuff like the popular stuff. You see the NBA players, you see the rappers, whatever's big in the entertainment industry. You see corporate America, the CEOs, whatever it is. Sure, that makes money, but are they passionate about it? I know a bunch of people who are doing something for the money and hate their job.
Mhm.
Facts.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Not just are you making money, are you content?
Yeah.
Do you have any joy?
They hate it.
Yeah, and if it's a no, why are you doing it? And it's like, well, I get paid for it. Like,
Security.
cool, you get paid for it, and you're doing, got a bunch of money, but you're not happy.
Mhm.
You complain every single night. You're depressed.
Security is the biggest trap within Eurocentric programming, but I'm not going to get into that. That's another show.
Fair, but yeah, why would I want to do something if I'm not happy about it?
Yep.
If I'm happy with, if I'm, making beats on the side of the corner, just like on a bucket, if I'm happy with that every day, I won't work a day in my life
Yeah.
because I'm happy with what I'm doing and I'm satisfied.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going home crying because I'm doing something I don't want to do.
For sure.
Why would I tell you to do something? Oh, get some money out of it. Like, that's what you should do. And what's crazy, that's what everybody tells me. Like,
Yep.
or not just me, but everybody tells everybody. If you're going like, oh, should I do this? Like, they're making me more money here. They're doing this here. Everybody's like, oh, go follow the money. Go to the school that's going to make you the most money.
Mm.
Not go to the school that's going to help you be better.
That's
And it's
it.
sad, but like, that's what we tell like the little ones. It's like, yeah, go to school is going to give you the check.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of kids, me included, who went to a PWI because we got money out of it. And man, we got some horror stories going to that PWI.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
I can tell no stories about West Virginia, but good God.
Trust me, Morgantown? Yeah, I went to school in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania, like an hour and a half.
Ah.
Yeah. Amish
Yeah.
country.
Told him come to Bowie
My first day at school,
Yeah.
I had a redneck try to beat me up in a McDonald's.
Mm.
No, my first week in school. My mom had
Redneck
dropped
at McDonald's?
at a McDonald's and a Walmart. Inside of a Walmart.
Walmart, redneck McDonald's. Wow.
Oh, that's like the number 2 trending videos on Facebook. You should already know. That's not even a good combination.
For sure.
Trifecta.
Mind you, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm 5'1". That guy was like 6'3".
Ooh.
And had to bend down just to touch my shoulder.
Put
Like the
him
shoulder
down.
bumped me. It was crazy.
Ooh.
And I thought about that for a second, and I was like, damn, I don't got no gun or nothing. But I just, you had to let it go.
Mhm.
I knew where I was, and I knew if I called the police, it would still be my fault. And maybe you end up in the back of a police car with somebody who sides with this guy. And you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
the world is different for us.
Yeah.
And it's just some stuff you got to take it on the chin. I learned that way too early.
But you learned it.
But I
Mhm.
learned it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No, you good. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Chaz. I'm gonna go devil's advocate on this
I knew
one.
you was gonna
Only
do this shit,
because
I was gonna do this.
only because I think in order to get where a lot of you guys are about like you got to do this to understand. I want to know, do you really appreciate this passion? Is it really your passion for real?
Mm.
Like, let me guide you down to what you're supposed to do thing first. Go into these jobs, try out these careers, and like, all right, if you really hate it, then and you've made money out of it, then you realize for yourself that money ain't for you. Money ain't everything.
That's
Like, I want you to understand that lesson first. Like, grind, get all the materialistic things, because I feel like I'm in that place. Like, I done did all the supposed to do things, went to school, got the little picket fence in the house and the family vibe, and then it'd be looking up like, damn, is this really what I want to do every day?
Mm.
And like, once you can answer that question, now it's like, well, what do you really care about? What are your real passions? Now I feel more comfortable going and chasing that versus this dream that I thought I fell in love with. I thought I really loved to do this thing.
Yeah.
And then I got older and was like, no, I don't really like to draw no more. I don't really like rapping no more.
Yeah.
Or, like 30-year-old me, I thought I loved cars and being on podcasts. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm really into accounting. Like, I don't know, right? But like, I don't think you get that
Really
perspective.
into accounting. Good God.
I don't think you get that perspective if you don't do it the quote unquote the right way. You know what I'm saying? Chase it. So that's
No, that's a good,
Nah,
I
I
like
agree
that gym
with
right there.
Mark's perspective, though. I really do.
I like
As a
that
person
gym.
who took the same path, went to school and did all the things and got money and bought the house and all that kind of stuff, and the passions were kind of secondary. And so now that I think the other side of it too is that I got to a place financially where I could afford my passion,
that part.
Mhm. Yep.
That
and it
Yep.
matters.
Yep.
You
It
know what I
does.
mean? Because passions are not cheap.
Nope.
I don't know who told y'all anything otherwise. Passions are expensive.
Your heart full, but your stomach empty.
I'm telling you. And
That's
also,
it.
they're more difficult.
So
And
bad.
it's easier to become an amalgamation of society, to go to school, to get all the things you're supposed to get that people say you should have, and just to blend in.
Nah.
It's easier. I think it's easier
Conformity.
because it doesn't conformity doesn't require original thought.
Mhm. We just going with
easy
it.
is depression. I don't want that.
It could
Yeah, that's
be,
real.
but it's still
Easy,
like
too easy is too
Yeah.
is now.
That's real.
depression.
Easier than
All right.
depression.
Last one we can get out here, G and Mia. I'm gonna need y'all to jump in on this one too. All right. Would you rather become who you're meant to be through guidance or through struggle?
Struggle.
I'm listening. I'm
You
listening.
want to tell us why?
Yeah.
I feel like the worst things that's happened on the journey actually were the best parts, if that makes sense. I've had somebody take a CD I pressed up and throw it in the trash in front of me, but I went back to that studio and I ain't playing no games. You know what I mean? So I feel like every time I bumped my head in the game, I came back a different animal. You know, I like my biggest losses are the ones I remember. Where it's like, all right, I took a hit doing this, but you know, the next one, we knew where the, you know, that's where the holes came in.
I like that.
We knew when to fill the holes at. So
Okay.
Okay. My bad. I was thinking about what you said. I didn't go the opposite. I think guidance is important. I think the reason that not us, but say like our parents or, you know, our mentors and people who guided us, they had those mistakes for a reason. Like they went through the hardships, they went through the trials so that they could say call it nepotism, but make it so that it was easier for us to get there.
Yeah.
For sure.
My father, he's a real estate agent and he had a really hard life growing up. He worked hard so that my life was not as hard as his.
That's right.
And I am ever so grateful for that. But if say I wanted to say, no, let me struggle. You know, let me do this my way.
Struggle.
Let me get it out. Not saying
No.
you know, like
Struggle, dude.
like what's that? T.I. son. I think his name is King. Yeah, King.
Yeah.
Like I live with my grandma's house. Nigga, you chose that. Shut up. So,
I'm
like,
so sick of King. Jesus Christ. Like, honestly, you need to
But
put
say
you need to
if
put that one away.
but
sorry,
say I
King.
wanted to choose my own path, you know, not follow the path that they had for me. What was all that work for? The whole reason that we do this or we do work is to make it go down, to give it to the people under us, to teach the kids, all right, there's a better way to do this. There's an easier way to do this. I'm working hard so that the people after me don't have to go through all the jump through all the hoops that I had to go through.
Facts.
I'm doing this now. I'm learning the process of making perfume naturally and doing all this stuff. Doing the hard stuff now so that I can just give you the free game. What's the point of me giving this to you? Like, why would I, like, if you're football wise, why would someone give you the playbook and you know, I'm gonna figure it out myself.
I'm a struggle.
Somebody would smack you. It's like, give me that playbook back. I'll use it. Somebody who will actually take the advice, they'll use it.
Heard and felt.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna take the guidance.
Heard and felt.
I'm with the guidance too. I mean, you just got, it depends on what kind of person you are. So at the end of the day, some people got to hit their head, you know what I'm saying, in order to learn a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Hard head, make it soft ass.
Yeah.
I'm the kid where you talked about your nephew earlier about like, or just kids in general, if you tell them the stove hot. I'm the kid that's gonna take your word for it. That's how I grew up. I was like, I watched so many people, family, friends, or neighborhood people in general make mistakes that I was like, why would I go do the same shit y'all did? Look at where y'all at. Like, I remember being the first person in my family to get a financial advisor. My parents like, why the hell you getting a financial advisor? You need somebody else to tell you what to do with your money. Bring the shit to us. We'll tell you what to do with this money. I'm like, no, you won't, because I don't watch y'all fumble money my whole life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do the same things y'all have done, but try to get a different outcome? Definition of insanity. So, you know what I mean? Like, the guidance of like learning what to do and what not to do. I tell you, you can learn something from anybody every day.
Yep.
Whether it's a dude on the side of the street or as a CEO at the top of the company, you can learn something from anybody. So I'm gonna take the guidance every time.
TJ?
I definitely say guidance, especially as an adult looking at the outside world and factoring in children, right? I would never want a child to struggle if they don't have to. So if I can guide you, or if I could have at least gotten guidance in my life, I'm gonna choose that and give that every time. make it easier. You know what I'm saying? And also experience. I have the experience, so I'm going to tell you the best way to do things and align things for you instead of having you struggle. And what if you fail because you don't have any guidance? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I think helping out the next person, especially as an adult looking at children, why would I not? You know?
Okay. Heard and felt. As the person who has consummately learned things the hard way, I would encourage everybody not to do that. I think there were so many moments where I just thought I knew best. And I have paid for those choices. And so I'm in a space now where I no longer need to learn my lessons the hard way. And so I think in being a person who was that way when I was young and who was like polar opposite now, guidance.
There you go. Thank y'all.
All right. Getting up out of this thing, baby. It's Saturday night. It's time.
Definitely.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all here. That's where the party at.
We appreciate you guys.
Right.
We got the party.
Party at.
I'm heading out. They holding me up. You know what I'm saying? I got things to do. Look at me.
People to see.
So we had an amazing show today. I want you guys to give us your information one more time so we can make sure all of our guests get it, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Neff, we're gonna start with you.
Neff said, IG is NEFFNUFFSED, and the book is called The Remorse Into the Dream, and it's available on anywhere you can get a book.
Amen.
Remorse, MOMORRIS 70. Remprangers, ARREMFRANGES, both on IG. I did not say the website. The website is AUDEAREM, EAUDEARREM.com.
Okay.
Marker Marketing at Big Dog Mark on all platforms. BIGDAWGMARQ, Big Dog Mark.
Okay.
Chaz DL, man, again, I appreciate y'all fellas coming through, man. I enjoyed myself. You know, I love when that God talk. You know, I like that.
Amen.
This is a You Weren't There podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. CHASDELLE. The Bird by the Door is out now. And also, by the time this come out, please come to 3160 Pennsylvania Avenue, Southeast DC, Wednesday. I will have a keynote lecture this coming Wednesday. So please pull up and check me out.
For sure. Gigi?
All right. Nobody that important _ on Instagram. Also, I want to plug my business page, fellas. Shop Body Butter Baby on Instagram.
Let's consider a collab here.
I was about to say,
yes, we will
I've
talk.
actually been working on it.
Working
Yeah.
across.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And of course, I'm your host at Mia Was Here, 5_. Follow us on You Weren't There podcast, IG and TikTok. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But more important than anything, God loves you. Make good choices this week and we'll see you soon.
Amen.
Peace.